best of the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz, starring all things football. Tony Romo needs to work harder.
The football story that got my attention this weekend was the intervention being reported at CBS, where multiple executives have had to fly to the house of Tony Romo to, I read, work harder. It seems like Romo is caddyshagging his way through this gig.
What's wrong with that?
I mean, he's a quarterback. It's a side gig. He was great at it at the beginning, and now they're asking him to work, it seems like. And he's like, It was described as an intervention. And Romo wants to golf. These jobs have gotten so fat and lucrative that the quarterback for the Cowboys can go get it and not do it particularly hard. Hey, I got applause for a couple of years, and now, but I thought he was doing fine. When did Romo deteriorate? Why is there an intervention? Is CBS protecting its product? Is Nance complaining? Like, what's happening here?
I mean, he's locked in for $17 million per season.
For how many years?
I think 4 more.
Why is it being as? It might be more than that.
No, I think it was a 10-year deal. They are married to him for a long time.
It's more than that, Stugotz. So explain to me why there's an intervention going on around Tony Romo. It has to be that he's not working hard enough, correct? But
That's what the report was. They weren't fans of his prep or lack thereof. They didn't think that he was taking it seriously enough.
Have you noticed it on the broadcast?
I'm kind of like Jess in that I only notice commentators really when there's a standalone playoff game, and I didn't think Tony Romo was bad the last game that I saw him, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not watching the main game. I just recently found out Greg Olsen is very good because I had the opportunity to watch Greg Olsen do a standalone game with no other games going up against it.
But also when that was happening, if you're watching football or sports the way a lot of people are, in multiple devices, you're seeing a great deal of praise for Greg Olsen. Unusual. You've heard Jimmy Kimmel make fun of the fact that football broadcasting decisions were being made because somebody was reacting to what Rudy Martzke was writing in USA Today. Some media
name.
One person before social media was dictating. There was criticism, and executives, nobody was born dreaming of being a television executive. Like, television executives don't actually have anything figured out. They like to pretend they do. But they're moved by, social media is blowing this way. And Greg Olsen was getting a great deal of praise, which I'm not used to. And it was Tony Romo's praise.
Right.
Because Tony Romo got it before Greg Olsen did. But I didn't see Tony Romo criticism. Where was the Tony Romo criticism that they were reacting to? Because they were very much reacting to some things being said in some circles in social media.
He signed in 2020. It could be a 5-year deal. It could go as long as 10. It's $17 million per. And I'm certain CBS is just saying to themselves, hey, we're paying you $17 million per season to call a football game a week. Can you take it seriously? But they're armed with more information than we are, whether it's coming from the staff, whether it's coming from Jim Nance, as to just how much work he's putting into this thing. I can tell you as someone who likes Tony Romo that I haven't noticed much of a difference. Like, he gives me what I want,
I haven't.
He'll occasionally tell me a play. He'll get excited at the right times. I mean, that's...
I don't know, Jim.
Right.
He does that. He seems to know
Jim.
That's his signature thing now, so I think he's leaning on that a little bit more. But the first time that I had ever considered that the Tony Romo thing wasn't this spectacular success was when his friend Dick Ebersol came out with a criticism that he immediately walked back. And all this stuff that's being reported out.
That's where it started.
Yeah, but all that stuff that's being reported right now seems it's actually kind of dirty when you look at it, because it seems like a lot of dirty laundry is being aired. A lot of inside people that know about Tony Romo's process are the ones doing the complaining. And for me, as someone that experiences him occasionally on a standalone game, I haven't noticed.
If I were Tony Romo, I'd be like, guys, you got me at a bargain. You see what Brady's making? You get what you get and you don't get upset. Like, this is what you're getting. You want me to work harder? Pay me double, because that's what Brady's getting, and then I'll work twice as hard. This is the new price. Until then, you're going to get half the effort.
It would be great if not being afraid of coaching or repercussions. It's a couple of guys in suits coming to my house. I got a deal. I got a deal for 5 years.
Act
And
like
it's-
you care, like, the intervention, okay, I'm good, I get it, I got it, right? And then go hit the course.
They have so much control of Tony Romo that they flew to him.
Right. Yeah. Way to send him the message
Yeah.
of working harder. We'll come to you.
It's so true what Billy is saying. These are, no matter how powerful they are as TV executives, there are a couple of guys flying into Dallas to meet the former quarterback of the Cowboys. Yeah, come on in, guys. You guys are paying me $17 million a year. Like,
I already made 130.
come on in. I got to get to the golf course in 45 minutes. What do you need? We'd like you to work harder. Yeah, not so interested in that.
I don't know, John.
How about I just keep being Tony Romo? That should be enough, right? You're paying me $17 million because I'm Tony Romo, former Cowboys quarterback. What are you going to do about it? I'll just hang out with Jim, and I will slowly deteriorate on air, not caring at all. It's $17 million a year because what do I have to care about? This is a side gig. Look how much you're paying me. More than I ever made in my playing career. I fractured my back. I was the quarterback of the Cowboys.
I think he's doing fine. Like, I haven't listened and been like, this guy's terrible. They need to replace him. He's fine.
I think, Dan, the CBS is reacting to the same pressures that you said Jimmy Kimmel made fun of for a while. There is in the sports media reportage sphere a lot of criticism of Tony Romo, a lot of people like critics are saying it's not as good as it used to be. I honestly think it's reacting to the New York Post sports media column. I still think it's the same thing as 20 years ago. I still think that media networks are a bit sensitive to that.
God, that's so dumb.
And they're reacting
But it's
to
Greg
it.
Olson getting credit, right? That that has to factor in.
This reported
Collinsworth is getting a lot of credit as being great at this. That has to factor in.
This
right?
reported intervention happened last summer before Greg Olson took over as the number one and got all this praise. So,
Okay.
I think, and also they could, as Mike said, have made an internal evaluation and gone, well, this isn't what it used to be. I don't know, but I do think that it's a lot of the similar. You sort of draft on buzz when it's good, and they seem to overly sink into the criticism as well.
So hire Greg Olson and demote him to number 2 and pay him $17 million a year to be your number 2. They're not going to do it. So what are they going to do about it?
This goes actually against some reporting that I did on Tony Romo a few weeks back. I was actually told by somebody that when the Dolphins and Bills played during the playoffs.
Is this reckless speculation?
No,
or
this
are
is
you reporting
this is legit. I mean,
Well, are
I
you
don't really
trying-
know how reporting works, but I think.
Okay, well let's see what kind of insider
Well,
you
who
are.
told you?
Wait a
That's
minute.
right. I shouldn't say. I think what I've learned, I shouldn't say that part.
Okay.
Well,
Billy,
that's the
just
only part that
Tell
I
us
don't
who
know.
told you,
Billy,
and then we'll say if
Billy,
it's reporting
no,
or if it's like
don't.
if you talk to someone in the parking lot at Buffalo that was covered in ketchup, not reporting.
Billy,
No, it's a
thank
legit
you.
source.
All of
I know
you-
how. I think I know how sources work.
I don't think you do, and I
Write it down on a piece of paper, and we'll pass it around. And
No,
tell you
Billy,
if it's like
please,
legit.
Billy.
I'm trying to help him.
You're
he says he
not
doesn't.
trying to help,
he
Billy.
says he doesn't know how this works,
Billy,
so I'm
what-
trying to
you're
help
not
him.
trying. You are actively not
My
trying.
barber thinks I'm a cop.
You're trying to get him into trouble. He might be on the precipice of both breaking news and trying to be an insider, but we have to do this correctly. Chris Cody, do you get the reckless speculation sounder, or are you reporting this as a credible news source?
Reporting
this is
it.
you being a reporter for the first time.
All right.
But you reported this a couple
I have
weeks
not
ago.
reported this before, but it applies to this conversation.
Okay.
Something that
Okay.
I just know.
We will
All
get
right.
to the news. Well, this is what Billy
Exciting.
is, this is what's happening, okay? Because Billy
first report,
is
Dan.
number 5 insider international Dookie Bombs. He's getting a lot of credit as a national football source. He's trying to undermine you
Malarkey.
here. As you try to infringe on his space
Hogwash.
with insider information. He has never broken a story around here.
I mean, that's not true.
You might be number 1 as an insider internationally, according to The Guardian, if you had broken a football story. But Chris Cody, you're telling us you have a source and you believe this to be a credible source.
Oh, you should double source things in journalism, but
That's
we'll
true.
get to that
What if
another
your
day.
source is really good?
Wait,
What if you have
Billy,
one source, but they're really good?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Who is it? And then we can.
Billy broke
Not how this
the
you're trying to trick me.
Billy, you broke the what's in Dable suitcase story, so you got.
Oh yeah, I
Dan.
forgot about
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Sometimes you just forget your accomplishments. You know.
Jay Glazer double and triple checks his sources. You don't have a second source. You just have one you really believe in. And you're reporting
I
what?
asked him twice though.
Like Santa.
So it's a guy.
Good job.
Okay, so you shouldn't reveal.
No, don't.
Yeah, okay, you got to protect your source. You got to be willing to go to jail to protect
Ask
your
the
sources.
source.
Don't go to jail over this. That's
Well,
stupid.
why are you asking him to reveal his
Can I just
sources
say it?
publicly? Yes.
Okay. The Dolphins and the Bills, when they played in the playoffs, that was the first time Romo and Nance had gotten the Dolphins all year. And the Dolphins had to wrap Romo up in the pre-interviews because he was just talking to them so much. So that goes against him being lazy. Like he was doing extra work and needed to be like, hey, we got to get a lot of guys through here. We need to tighten these up a little bit. So I don't know. That doesn't seem like a guy that's cutting corners.
That's right.
Because he knows he's got a standalone game now. And he's got to prepare for that one.
It's because he hadn't covered the Dolphins all year, so he was trying. I need to learn a lot about them. So that's just one fact that goes against him mailing it in.
Could also be just chatty, though.
That's true.
Could just be somebody who likes talking to football
We've
players.
seen him at Tahoe. He is not chatty at all. I mean, let's say a
Wow,
word.
you're reporting that?
I'm reporting what
You're
I've seen, and
reporting
what
that?
I've seen is him
Wow.
talk to nobody.
He puts out a
yeah,
vibe.
Yeah.
Really? You guys think that he's not this affable person?
There are more affable folks.
Are you guys both? Wait a
A
minute.
third report.
I got to be
We've all
honest.
seen it.
These
We've
you
all
reports
saw
seen
how
it.
friendly. You
We've all
saw how
seen it.
friendly we were with Justin Timberlake.
Right.
So,
Billy,
JT. Yeah.
Billy, the report.
luck, Pa.
Truth be told, the Chris Cody report very disappointing. I like better.
Did I just report something?
The Stugotz and Mike Ryan report of Tony Romo is kind of standoffish.
he just there are people that like to socialize, and he's got a vibe. He's very intense.
They're putting
about
it
his
nicely.
process.
Dick Ebersol.
Are you willing to report that that Tony Romo is an asshole? Are you
No,
willing to go?
No, he takes
Whoa.
it very, very seriously.
to
I don't know
folks?
Tony well enough to call him an asshole.
No,
okay?
no, guys, we're going
Yeah.
to Tahoe too. No one said that. Dan, stop putting people in that spot. No, it's just
He takes it seriously.
it's more
he
of a
isolates himself.
Yeah, he isolates himself. It's kind of like a
Game face.
Yeah, he's got his game face on. He takes it. He's more intense about it. It's more of a business trip for him when he's not one of the guys. You
He's
know?
one of the 5 guys who knows he has a chance to win that thing every single
Right,
year,
but-
and he takes it very, very
Right, but
seriously.
the other
I mean,
4
Mark
guys-
Mulder is the same way.
Well, there's also levels to the celebrity there. Like the Steph Currys, the Ray Romano. Like these people get bombarded by people. Like where there's the guy from The Office. Some people are just happy to talk to you. Whereas some guys
Jeez.
are A-listers.
But Steph and Mahomes and Kelsey, they're and Justin Timberlake, they're super affable. They know they're very happy to take part in it. And Stugotz and myself, we belong. We're there and we're rubbing shoulders and stuff. And Tony Romo just does his own thing.